Hey, what's going on, guys? So I just got back from a work trip in Michigan, and I went to a ton of game stores, and I didn't film anything, and I felt like a big fool. So I went back to Michigan for a second work trip, and I did get to film some game stores this time. I went to way less than I did the first time, which is a little bit of a bummer, but I did go to a cool toy store I'd never been to before, and I went to both of the different retro Taku locations. I actually showed them once on the channel before, but I'll show them again because I think all three of these places I went to were awesome. So without further ado, let's check out some really cool retro game and toy hunting next time you're in the Novi, Detroit, Michigan area. So the last time I filmed a video here in Michigan, I actually filmed a place called Retro Taku, and I filmed their old location, which I actually will be showing later in this video because we went back. But this is their new location, or at least new to me. It's probably a little bit older now, but man, this place is freaking awesome. This place is easily, I don't know, 2, 3, 4 times as big as the last location, and it's crazy because they filled it just like the last location. And I'm telling you, the other store has a ton of games in it, so that's just a testament to how much is here. I mean, first off, on the main wall, right when you walk in, they have all brand new games. So it's like a regular game store, like a GameStop or something, where they have a bunch of new stock for you to buy, you know, sealed, so you don't have to worry about, you know, anything weird with the used stuff. But they also have, you know, pops, toys, comic books, cards, figures, DVDs. You know what? The store really reminds me of a store I loved in Texas called Game Exchange. It's a lot like that, where the prices are pretty fair and they have a large variety of toys and DVDs and figures, as well as video games. So it's not just video gaming, but there is a lot to see here. I mean, you go around the whole store and it is walls of games. I mean, they, you know, go in order: Xbox, Wii, GameCube, everything you can think of. I mean, every console is represented here, and it is just this massive, massive place. They even have VHS tapes, which I thought was kind of cool, because you don't see that very often. But I mean, like I said, as far as newer stuff, you're probably going to find exactly what you're looking for. I mean, I'm talking like, you know, 360 on, because their supply is so vast, where it's like, man, you know, I'm really looking for Battlefield Bad Company 2. They had it. They had several copies of it. You know, you're looking for, you know, just a weird off-the-wall game that's, you know, from that generation, and they're going to have it here, along with accessories, controllers, and everything you can think of. You know, in general, like I said, this place has pretty much everything you need for gaming and otherwise. Along with the toys, though, they actually have some vintage toys in here. I mean, when I was here last time, I ended up buying a figure from Onimusha 2, like for the PS2. Super cool. I mean, they got a good mix of old and new, vintage and non-vintage, and their prices, like I said, are very fair. I mean, the vintage figure I bought was like $8, completely sealed. I don't know what this stuff goes for, but like $8, come on, man, it's like cheaper than friggin' McDonald's. But of course, no game store is complete without having a really cool display case with the expensive stuff, the rare stuff. They actually have some prototype boards. They have some really crazy, like, limited edition handhelds, like, you know, special for a baseball team. They have a lot of limited run games. They have a lot of sealed stuff. You're really going to find a little bit of everything. They did have some cooler vintage toys in the case, and they had one that was like the Marvel vs. Capcom set that I had when I was a kid. I bought the one that was like Mega Man and Iron Man, and they actually had it here. There's a part of me that really wanted to buy it, but on the other hand, like, it was $80, which I didn't look it up, but it may or may not be fair. But the problem is it was like completely sealed, and, you know, I'm gonna want to open it and like kind of mess with it, play with it, put it on my shelf or something. But I feel like something that old and like that cool kind of needs to stay sealed, so I passed on it. But in general, the case is the place to be. The cool thing about Retro Taku, though, is on the other side of the case, they have another case, I guess, where it's all import games. A lot of really cool stuff that you can get here. And for those who know, there are very easy ways to play certain imports. If you're talking Super Nintendo or Nintendo 64, it's a physical modification to the console. But many other consoles, you can just play them. Other things are out there like the analog consoles or some of those like 5-in-1 consoles where you can play these things. The games that don't really require much translation or anything, or have little text at all, play just as good, or in some cases it's games we didn't get over here. So it's definitely worth checking this kind of stuff out when you go to game stores. One other thing I wanted to show here, and they're very, very expensive as you can see, but they have like those really crazy first four figures, like the life-size bust of Solid Snake and some other stuff. Just a neat little kind of cherry on top for this really cool store. As promised, we went from one retro Taku to the next, and this one's a little bit smaller. I've showed it on the channel before, but I do think it's worth bringing up. I'm going to start with the case here, because the case here is super good, super high quality. They have the import stuff on one case like the other store, and then they have the non-import stuff in the other case, but a cool mix of rare games, of limited run games, of rare controllers, really good imports. There's some high quality in these cases. Actually, a friend of mine, I'd seen a vintage like NBA Jam shirt one of the last times I was here at this location. I ended up picking it up for them. But they really have some good quality stuff, as well as like their massive inventory to fall back on. But you can really never go wrong walking into this place. And like I said, I'm just going to kind of show the wall of games. So this location, as I said, way smaller than the other one, but you can see how they utilize their space to make like a maze in the Minotaur scenario. You see how tight these corners are, but it's just games, just solid walls of games, like what, 8 high, 5 high, of just solid, imports, non-imports, every console you can think of. Nintendo, PlayStation, Xbox, everything is here, and multiple copies of each, multiple variants if you're looking for a non-greatest hits versus a greatest hits. This is the kind of place where if you're trying to like fill out a collection and need like the filler games, oh my god, they're gonna have them. And they run really good deals regularly. I didn't actually look this time, but last time I was here, they had some kind of like anniversary month deal where used games were like buy 2 get 1 or something like that, which was always a good deal, especially if you can work the prices in your favor. Because a lot of times when they have and this is for any store, a buy 2 get 1, it's always the cheapest one's free. But if you go out of your way to get like 3 expensive games, you could be saving a pretty good sum. Always something to look out for. But back to the retro Taku experience. This place is massive. They got it all. If you're in the area, you have to check this place out. Now this is a little different for me. I'm not the biggest toy guy or figure guy, but my friend who I was with definitely collects all sorts of stuff, a lot of Godzilla stuff. So we found this place called Big Ben's Comic Oasis. Turns out they're having their 40-year anniversary, and man, this place is freaking nuts. I think I almost took too much footage here. This store is one of the biggest toy stores I have seen in my entire life. They have so much stuff here. Comic books, graded and ungraded, cards, packs, individuals, graded and ungraded, buttons, toys. So many toys. They have new toys, they have loose toys, they have vintage toys, they have everything you can think of. It's all kind of organized by the different, characters or genres. They have a whole aisle dedicated to wrestling. They have a whole area of Power Rangers. They have a whole area of just really rare vintage toys. They had a whole massive area. I'm talking absolutely atrociously massive area of Transformers and Beast Wars. Of course, because it's so popular nowadays, Funko Pops, just, hundreds of them. Maybe even 1,000, I have no idea. This place is so big. This place is just like, you could spend hours in here, easily, without even breaking a sweat. You could spend hours in here. They had model kits, they had all sorts of stuff. The reproduction kind of things they're doing nowadays, where it's like a spoof on the vintage toys. They had those. They had video game toys. I mean, they had stuff that was just off the chain. They had a Primal Rage action figure from like the Super Nintendo. I think it was also on Sega. Primal Rage fighting game where you fight as dinosaurs. Loved that game. And I was like, I mean, just brought down memory lane. This is the kind of place where, even though I'm not the biggest toy guy, it is just so cool to see. I mean, this is something that really stood out to me as a spot that was worth checking out. If you are in the area, you need to check this place out. I mean, they have everything anime, movie related, even like old toys that like aren't even like maybe in the nerd culture, just like old ass toys like dolls and stuff. They have it here. They have everything. They had stuff I didn't even know existed. Power Rangers collabs, like Power Ranger Cross Ninja Turtles. I had no idea was a thing. It's just so cool. This place is a testament to the toy and comic collector. It's pretty close to the airport too, so if you happen to be just popping into the Detroit area, even if it's for a short amount of time, you should definitely check the store out. I highly recommend it. So, what did you think? Do you like those stores? Do you think that's the kind of place you'd go to? Once again, if you're in the kind of Novi, Detroit, Michigan area, those are some spots that I thought were very cool. That toy store blew my mind. I could have spent literally probably hours in there. In fact, we spent quite a bit of time in there, but I could have definitely spent more time in there. But, let me know down below if you're from the area, if you've been to those stores, or if that's a place that you may go next time you are visiting Michigan. And hey, that's going to do it for us today, guys. Once again, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for subscribing. If you haven't, please do. That'd be really cool. But as always, my friends, take it easy.